Hello YouTubers, DEFan3D coming at you out here for the points from July 22nd. Tonight Elko's having their race going. I won't be at Elko until September 23rd and September 30th for the second to last race and the last race. The next time I go will be the ASA Midwest Tour, which is finally back, and I'm wearing the gear from 2007 to 2012. So it's pretty awesome. So I'm glad to do this video for you guys again. But for the point standings for the season so far, Jacob Gady leading it now, and boy, he's looking to become the 10th Elko track, 10-time Elko track champion, and do it consecutively in a row from 2014 to 2023. That's huge. So that's pretty awesome. In second, Jake the Snake Ryan in the 19 car. Third is the 52 of Chad Wolin. Fourth is the 31 of Racing Ryan Varner. And fifth is the 3 of Chris Cruiser Merrick. And sixth in the points is the 8 of Billy Moan. Seventh is the 50 Steve Anderson Jr. Eighth is the 6th. Eighth is the 6 car of Owen Giles. Ninth is the 32 of Jeremy Wolf. 10th is the 7 of Jackson Lewis. 11th is the 94 of Hunter Cowell Payne. 12th is the 99 of Tommy Peterson. 13th is the 47 of Austin Jar. 14th is the 20 of Alex Broseth. That's looks like you pronounce that name a little weird right there. 15th is the 18 of Michael Ostick. 16th is the 53 of Jared Duda. 17th is the 10 of Dustin Mann. 18th is the 41 of Donnie Rocket Reavers. 20th is the 19th is the 3 of Jerry Zimricky in the J3 car. 20th is the 36 of Ty Fredrickson. 21st, the 06 of Adam Ratliff. 22nd is the 42 of Ryan Camish. 23 is the 8 of Colin Stalker. 24th is the 2 of Michael Bilderback, which is really cool. He's normally a big 8 late model driver running around the tracks in Wisconsin and everything, and partially in the Chicago area. But Rockford is his hometown track. They're demolishing that track after this season, which is a terrible crime shame. So he might have to run at La Crosse and a lot of tracks in Wisconsin, and then even come to Elko. It'd be cool because I haven't really seen the guy run full time since, 2012 back in the ASA Midwest Tour. I grew with him in that tour since 2007 to 2015 and 16, and so it's pretty awesome. Even in 2017 he showed up too, so it's pretty awesome. But it'll be fun. Hopefully he shows up either in a big 8 late model this year or in the ASA Midwest Tour, so that'd be a lot of fun too. I like his font style too. It's like the number 2 Clint Boyer and Ron Hornaday Jr. RCR font. It's pretty awesome. Even Kevin Harvick as well with that too. And even Kerry Earnhardt back in the ARCA Remax days. Now the ARCA Menard Series. 25th is the 14 of Cody King. 26th is the 75 of Joel Tyson. 27th is the 32 of Rob Hazelton. And 28th is the 22 of Kyle Hansen. And in 29th is the 72 of Doug Hilson. So 29 cars in the points series this year. So kind of a big late model field. Some of these guys are part-timers, so they only show up for like 1, maybe 2 events a year. And then they call it quit, and then they show up next year. Now, Joel's kind of running sporadically. He ran 2 times already this year. He'll run a third one in August. September's kind of up in the air, but it'll be cool if he shows up. If not at Thunderstruck 93 for Dan Ryan's Memorial Race on September 23rd, hopefully he shows up on September 30th for the last race of the year, so that'd be pretty cool. And speaking of why I'm wearing this gear, plus too, this hat is from 2003 for the old ASA Racing Series on the TNN and Speed days of television. So it'll be 20 years since that series was in existence. And it's pretty cool because I actually have the trademark pin from the Milwaukee Mile Speedway on August 20. What does it say? August 27th or the 29th of 2004. So yeah, so that is pretty awesome right there to have that pin. So this is really, really rare. I got this on eBay for $5. So yeah, that pin it's pretty doggone rare. So that's pretty awesome right there. But on top of that, what's also rare, I got this off of eBay with a stack full of them. I have one of them hanging in my closet because it's a poster. But it's since 2007 to 2012, it was named the ASM Midwest Tour, and then it was gone, discontinued. ARCA decided to pick it up for the ARCA Midwest Tour from 2013 to 2021. So, or actually 2022 last year. So yeah, from 2013 to 2022. They had it for a good chunk. Now in 2023 this year, it's back, but they changed the font, just the ASA part, just a bit from like the 80s from the old ASA series. But in 2008, this is the original ASA Midwest Tour when Dan Ferrickson won the championship, and the 12th car of Nick Mergic won Rookie of the Year. And in 2007, Jonathan Island was Rookie of the Year, and Nathan Housley was the champion in 2007. So that's pretty cool right there. And that rookie car that Jonathan Island ran, that's the chassis to the 31 Racing Ryan Gardner car, which is really, really cool. So, in this book, man, I'm trying to think, 10... Yeah, I was 11 and a half to 12 years old in 2008. So this was back when I was a teenager, which is really cool. And take a look at the tracks this series ran back in 2008. See Iowa Speedway in there, Raceway Park. Elko was the opener track. Milwaukee Mile Speedway in there with a I-94 Raceway in Sauk Center, Minnesota. That track is gone. That's close by Alexandria. That was a long haul for a lot of those Midwest Tour stars. And this was the last year for that track was in 2008, and it left abandoned. Tim Olson was the owner of that track. I've never been to that track. I've seen it, driven past it before, but just never got the opportunity to see a race there. But I did get to see a race at the State Fair of Minnesota track, which was cool for the last race. And they even have this. I got to get some of these guys to autograph this book for me this year in the autograph section of this book. A lot of recognizable names in there. Doug Malik's 15 car is pretty sweet. That's a Pontiac Grand Prix, which is really cool. And Donnie Reavers is in there. Jonathan Island 77. Dan Ferrickson's car's in there from when he won the championship. So that's pretty sweet. And he's car number 69 this year, but he'll autograph still as the 36. So with a few others. So some of these guys will get autographs. Some of them I won't be able to because these guys don't race anymore, unfortunately. But I'll do my best to try to get as many of them to get autographed as possible. But also, too, it's really sweet. The Coleman 119 cars in there with Travis Sauter, which is pretty cool. So Travis, his dad is Tim Sauter, and his uncle is Johnny and Jay Sauter. So that's pretty cool. So that'll be pretty sweet. And then, of course, the former Jim Sauter Sr., because there's a Jim Sauter Jr., but Jim Sauter was the father to a lot of those guys. He passed away a few years ago. But I remember him in the Busch Series at Milwaukee in 2002 driving the Rockwell Automations 29 Busch car. There's a photo of that on Google Images, which is pretty sweet. And this got me a little teary-eyed a bit. I can't lie. I mean, seeing that big red oval, the ASM Racing Series, that was the one that was at the State Fair track. And boy, I'd do anything to get that series back. I mean, this is the hat from 2003, and that's their last oval they had was that. But this is what the new one looks like for the ASA Midwest Tour. That's the one that they're doing, which is all right, but I prefer if they kept it like that. So, but at least me and Tim Olson, the old owner of these, gave me a lot of free shirts. So I gave one to my good buddy Sam Shea. He has one that it's like a one you wear like in an office meeting that you'd set up like like for like during like meetings for like over the off season to get like endorsement deals and everything, like one of those business shirts. I got one too, so it's pretty sweet. I gave him one. It was black and gray. I got mine business shirt. It's black and orange, so I like that a lot. So I couldn't pass. I couldn't give that up, and he was totally cool with me keeping that one. But it's pretty sweet. Elko Power Tools with the ASA Midwest Tour logo. And then this is Tim Olson's 79 car, which is really, really cool right there with Elko. And I have the t-shirt for that car. It's actually sitting in my bed right over here. So, or a little bit today, which is cool. So this book means a lot. And there's another book that I got. I have the State Fair book from Minnesota. That track's gone. And I got this, Raceway Park and Shakopee. Yeah. If any of you guys in Minnesota definitely will remember this book for sure. And this one's back in 2007. This was actually the first year for the Whelen All-American Series to take over, because before this, it was the Dodge Weekly Series. Before that was the Remax Challenge Late Model Series. And before that was called the Winston Racing Series. So this was the first year for Whelen. This was gone after 2021, because in 2022, Advanced Auto Parts came and bought out Whelen Automotive. So, but I definitely grew up a lot with as a teenager with that Whelen one, and as a kid it was Winston, Remax Challenge, and the Dodge Weekly Series. So that's pretty sweet, and it's pretty cool. And I went to Michigan in 2007 in August, which they're running tomorrow. And the cup race got rained out, but I got to get Kurt Busch's autographed hat off of eBay from 2007. It's a chase for the Nextel Cup. And I kind of had a chuckle and laugh because on the inside cover, there's this 2007 Dodge Charger Nextel Cup car right there, which was really, really cool. So I was like, sweet, I get the autograph of the car in Michigan. Now I get the car in the book. So it's pretty awesome. I have the diecast car too with it. So that's pretty awesome. And flipping through here a little bit. This was really cool to see. So here's some of the old Dodge Weekly late models from 2006. The 41 of Donnie Reavers, the 11 of Jason Racing Schneider, and Jacob Gady's brother Matt Gady in that 2000 and 2002 27 Monte Carlo. So I love that old body style a lot. And then here's Jerry Wolf in the Thunder Car Series on the bottom there. I'll have him autograph that. So that's pretty awesome. So a lot of great memories. I've been to this track 3 times, and in 2006 I got photos when it was the Dodge Weekly Series. Me and a few buddies of mine in my neighborhood and my brother got to ride in the pace car at Raceway, which was really cool. So I got that photo to match it. Now this is really cool because Donnie's a 9-time Elko track champion. He's a 3 or 4-time track champion of Raceway Park. Here's that banquet ceremony in 2006 with Donnie. It's like, holy smokes, that's really cool. I like how young the dude is, because you've seen him on my YouTube channel. So that's really cool to have him autograph that. Because I have a 2002 ASA late model program book and the pictures in there from 2001, and there's a banquet hall room with the blue 9 at Johnny Sauter's 10-time win ASA championship car. I had him autograph that, and he's like, where'd you get the book? I said, I got it off of eBay. He's like, no shit. So it's pretty cool. So, and I just think that's just really sweet to see that with the first year Whelen All-American Series logo next to the Raceway Park track logo. It's like, man. So that's really cool. That hits home for me big time. And there's another cool photo in here that I really dig. This is the 12 of Nick Mergic, and his dad is Steve Mergic in the 3. And when Dwayne Barron's Memorial came out back in the early 90s, after Dwayne Barron's passed away in a snowmobile accident, when they did the memorial race, Steve Mergic won the very first one. And it was pretty cool. And Jackson Reavers, and when they do that, Jackson drives the, Donnie Reavers' son, Jackson drives the 40 late model. But when I saw that 3, I automatically thought of that Dwayne Barron's race from when I saw that on YouTube for these old Elko Speedway update videos from 1996 to 1997. It's like, oh wow, I never knew that. I didn't know at the time it started that long ago. But then thinking about it, yeah, it's kind of like, but it's pretty cool. But the one that I definitely hit close to home for me is Dan Ryan's Memorial Race at Thunderstruck, because he died in 2009 of ALS, and this book came out in 2008. I was actually at the very first race of this year at Elko in 2008. This book is $4 back in '08, but I was at Elko Speedway with my dad and my grandfather and my brother to see Jake Ryan win that race, and Dan Ryan was there that night in his wheelchair, and he talked, but you couldn't hardly make out what he was saying, which really sucked. But now this book really hits home for me, so that's the one thing I definitely remembered about that. And then another photo in here. You've seen these cars in the Elko junkyard. These are the old cars that you could rent at Raceway in Elko and drive for about $50 and for like 100 laps with a few of your buddies, and rent them out. And it was kind of like the makeshift version of Richard Petty Driving Experience School. That would have been really cool to do that. And now they're using Monster Jam trucks to smash the heck out of them, which is kind of a bummer, but it's cool to get that photo. So that's pretty sweet. So that's pretty awesome. And then the other one here is 2008 at La Crosse Speedway for the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series for the local guys. And definitely one of them kind of caught my attention. He usually runs the ASA Midwest Tour. I got a t-shirt from him, and it's the number 8 car of Brett Kirshner. That's pretty sweet to see right there. Really cool. And I like the number 8 font. It looks like Dale Jr.'s number 8 on that late model of his. If he is, I probably will bring the book with me just in case if he is there, he can autograph that. Because I don't know if any of these other drivers will be there, but these are just for the local guys. But it's pretty awesome. But I did get a kick out of this because it talks about the 2008 Oktoberfest race weekend for the ASA Midwest Tour when Dan Ferguson won the championship. And if you see right here, Kurt Busch in this NASCAR Sprint Cup Car of Tomorrow COT Dodge Charger. I know that that car has mixed emotions with the NASCAR fans. Either love it or hate the car. I'm personally one that thought, that car was pretty sweet with that wing on the back of it. So I still like that car still. And even that car actually still holds up today in modern time because NASCAR still uses the energy absorbent foam inside the doors. So if you get smacked in the door, it takes away all that blow from the driver, which is pretty cool. So yeah, but looking forward to going to La Crosse this year for Oktoberfest. So I thought, well, that was pretty cool to get that book. But certainly these two hit home for me really hard. So that's pretty awesome. And on top of that, probably the coolest thing ever is to go through 2007 and 8 memory lane with a stack of ASA Midwest Tour postcards that are autographed by all these drivers. And there's some in here I wanted when I was younger. I just wasn't able to get them at the time, but as usual, I get redemption and then some. So here's Nathan Hosley's 87 car. He was the ASA champ in 2007. This is his championship postcard from 2007. And it's totally cool. He's autographed. And then in 2008, this is Dan Ferguson's local Elko car, but you could double it as his ASA championship car from 2008 for the Midwest Tour of ASA. So that's pretty awesome. And I love that Monte Carlo body. From 2003 to 2009, the tour used that. And Steve Carlson was the one that was using it, and that was pretty awesome. Oh man, and I love this paint scheme. He's driving a Ford now, which really hurts, but Jonathan Island back in 2008, that car was the shit, man. I tell Jonathan every time, I said, that car, your flames are better than Jeff Gordon's DuPont ones, and he got a kick out of that. But I still give this car a lot of credit, because when I was younger, I would draw pictures of this car in middle school and elementary school, because I just thought that car was cool. And the chrome rims at night with that flame job when I was at Elko, oh my gosh, it was so mesmerizing to see that. Here's my local boy, Donnie Reavers. I have his ASA Racing Series postcard from 2003. Now to get the Midwest Tour car is pretty sweet with the Toyota Camry. I never was a Toyota Camry fan because of Kyle Busch, but now thinking about it, he's in the 8 RCR car. I don't really hold this car too much of a grudge, but I still give crap to Donnie every once in a while. But he did this because of the sponsor deal, which is pretty cool. And here's my local boy who might win 10-time Elko Czech champion, Jacob Gady, and his ASA Midwest Tour Chevy Monte Carlo SS, which I totally love that car. And these are the years I asked my grandfather a lot of questions on late model drivers and everything, and kind of followed in suit in high school when I got serious about these guys. And it's pretty awesome. My grandfather taught me a lot. Some of it went through my dad too, and I would ask him some questions, but primarily my grandfather did a really good job. I give credit to my dad as well. Primarily give credit to both of them, and I definitely appreciate the help. Here's Brian Roach's number 99 car. And I remember seeing this guy in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 2015 was the last time I saw him in Elko. I really hope he comes back. But I definitely loved his 99 car. He autographed the back of the postcard, which is pretty sweet. But, man, I love that paint scheme on that 99 car. And some of these postcards look really badass, and this one totally fits it. This is Tim Olson's son in the 78 car, and actually, when they first came out with this car, Tim wanted to drive it, but Kevin Sawinski asked Tim if he could drive it, and he gave the nod to him, and he ran it at Elko in 2007. And I was there to see that race with my grandfather, so there's nothing on the back, just a 4x6 photo, but a beautiful shot. And this track is at the one in Sauk Center, Minnesota, by Alexandria, Minnesota I-94 Raceway, no longer in existence, but I'm glad I got a photo of that. And I got one of Chris Merrick's car in Victory Lane 2 in the Thunder Car division. And that McDonald's Pontiac Grand Prix is really sweet, and I definitely loved it when Pontiac was in the ASA Midwest Tour, and it'd be sweet if one of these cars comes back now, and man, that's pretty awesome as heck. So I definitely love that car a lot. Here's kind of a local boy for me too. Here's Joey Johnson's 51. He's from Alexandria, Minnesota. I haven't seen him race late models in a long time. It'd be cool if he comes back to do it, but I definitely got his postcard from 2008, which is pretty sweet. So, really, really cool. And here's Gordy Swanson. He is from Minnesota, and they did this for the Cancer Center in Shakopee, and so it was pretty cool. And they had a two-seater car at Shakopee Raceway Park, and Mary Berry was a cancer patient survivor, and she got to do a ride-along for 10 laps in the two-seater car at Raceway Park, which is pretty cool. You can see that on YouTube if you look up the 2008 ASA Midwest Tour update videos and you look at Raceway Park. It talks about this, and it's pretty awesome, so that's pretty awesome. And here's a local boy of mine too, Steve Anderson, and his son is Steve Anderson Jr. that's driving the 50 car now, but I grew up with Steve Anderson through my childhood with that 50 car, and you knew that was Steve Anderson just by looking at that Ford Fusion. So that paint scheme, I'm not a Ford fan, but I definitely love that paint scheme on that 50 car. That's pretty sweet. And here's the 2007 Rookie of the, or 2008, my bad, Jonathan, I was Rookie of the Year in 2007, but 2008 Rookie of the Year, Nick Murgic. And so that's pretty cool right there. So that's his rookie car from 2008 in the ASA Midwest Tour. I had to flip the photo upside down because it gives his stats on the back. So that's pretty sweet. So I really, really like that. I have another postcard of his too, but it's a little bit older one from 2003. But here's, and he was the Oktoberfest winner last year, driving the 28 Ford Mustang, but Andrew Morrissey in the 39 car. Really, really cool font. That 39 reminds me of Dan Ryan's 39 and 93 car. When Dan would run at Elko Speedway. So that's pretty awesome right there. And then the 25 of Jeff Storm. Really like that car a lot. He actually still runs in the in late models still today too, so it's pretty awesome. But this is his 2008 car. Really, really cool. And this one, trying to see the name on this. Oh, Tyler. Can't pronounce the last name on this. Maybe you guys can. But here's Tyler in the 2 car on a 4x6 photo. I like the paint scheme on that too. That's pretty awesome. So I definitely like that. And can't really tell who the name of this guy is. But I like the two car, his two. And the late models series in the ASA Arca Midwest Tour, these guys come all over the place. So this series allows you to run 2, 3, or 4 of the same number. Like you have 3 number 2s, 3 number 5s, 4 number 8 cars, and even double digits. Nick Neville ran 155 in 2008. And with the 119 of Gene Coleman, who sponsors my YouTube channel, along with Bass Pro Shops. But Coleman from Norway Speedway in the Michigan Upper Peninsula area around Menominee, Michigan, and the UP. Those guys, their car number is 119. And Dalton Zier, and even trying to think. I mentioned his name earlier. I think it was Jay. So Jay Sauter, or Travis, my bad. Yeah, Travis Sauter in the 119. He also ran that car as well. So Travis and Gene Coleman and even Dalton Zier, they run that car number, which is pretty cool. And speaking of the Upper Peninsula, here's a local guy from Norway, Jamie Iverson, on the 97 car. And in 2009 at Iowa Speedway, he almost got injured seriously bad because that car hit the wall a ton, and his drive shaft came through the sheet metal under the car and hit the back of his driver's seat, but came up closer to driver's seat, missed hitting the seat by that much. But that's in 2010 when they implemented the metal seats in the back, so that if it hits it, it's not going to go through your seat. That missed Jamie by a fraction of an inch. That seriously could have ended his life that night. And you can see it on the ASA Midwest Tour updates from the 2009 season on YouTube at Iowa. Now you'll see that wreck, and that is such a hard hit. This is the car from 2008 right here. And Kyle Colmus in the 9 car. It's pretty sweet. And I like the SS on the A post, or on the A post there, right by the between the side window and the front windshield there. It's pretty cool. But I definitely like that a lot. And I have 2 of his postcards. Tim Schendel's 2010 one is right up there. I have 2 ASA late model series postcards from the year 2000 coming. I have the 07 car from 2000, and I have the championship car from Gary St. Amant, the yellow 2000 Monte Carlo. That ASA Gary St. Amant championship car will go there, and then that 2010 ASA Midwest Tour Tim Schendel postcard will go in this stack. But here's Tim Schendel's car from 2007. So this is the first year of the ASA Midwest Tour. So this is a rare postcard right here to get in this stack for the first year of it in 2007. In August of 2006, Tim Olson and a few other promoters were getting together and talking about making the series. And Dick Trickle in Oktoberfest of 07 said this reminds him of the old Arco series from back in the day. Very much so. You take the best drivers of the Midwest and down south, you put them together and you have them race around each other. Very, very competitive. You get some of the best short track action in the upper Midwest than any other region in the state. So this is cool. From bouncing in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, and the Illinois area, and even mixing up with Iowa. So that's pretty cool to do that. And then speaking of Wisconsin drivers, here's Scott Wimmer's brother, Chris Wimmer. I have a few of his ASA Late Model Series postcards driving the 05 car, but here's his 50. He actually won Iowa in 2009. So this is his NASCAR Busch Series postcard with the Craftsman Truck Series. Now they call it back this year, but one thing back in 2008 and 2007 and even in 2009 for the Craftsman Truck Series, there was no such thing called stage racing. So I'm an old school guy right there. So it's pretty awesome. And speaking of doubling up numbers, here's another one. Chris Kelly's 77 car, just like Jonathan Island's 77, you can run 2 of the same number. So it's pretty awesome for that right there. So really, really cool. I really dig that postcard a lot, which is really awesome. So yeah, that's a cool one. And I really like those Monte Carlo taillights on the back of that car. I really miss seeing those a lot. I wish there was more of those flowing around out there on the tracks, but certainly love it that it's on the postcard. So I grew up with that big time. Here's a cool name, Blake Horseman in the 75 car. That's pretty awesome right there. That's pretty sweet. Heck of a nice guy too. I never met him, but I've seen videos of him on those update videos from the ASMO's tour. All these drivers are really, really cool. And then the number 5 car of Eugene Dick. Kind of a funny name. Kind of reminds me of hearing the Dick Trickle name. But pretty car. I like the flames on the 5 ride. That's pretty sweet. And here's the back side of that postcard. So yeah, give you another shot of that. So yeah, very, very cool. And now this one's pretty awesome. You guys will get a kick out of this, especially if you're from the Wisconsin area. This is kind of your hometown restaurant. ASMO's tour, Frank Cryer with the Culver's car, and there's actually a discounted coupon attached to this. Expires on December 31st of 2008. Well, that's definitely expired a long time ago, but it's cool that it's actually on here because I wonder how many people tore this coupon off to use it. I'm not planning on taking it off of this postcard anytime soon. So, really, really awesome. And this is the last one in the stack. So, very cool to get this. I'll probably get maybe a few more guys just to add into it, like Jake Ryan. I'm thinking about it. I just messaged Joel Tyson with his 75 car just to see if he has one added in. If not, I know a way to get some of these made out. So, and I have a autograph. But hopefully you guys enjoy that look trip down memory lane from 2007 to 2008. So it's pretty awesome. And I remember being at a lot of those races, and like, I don't know why I didn't wind up getting any of the gear, but I'm glad I got it now. But certainly it's paid off with a lot of knowledge. And I'm still emphatic that I actually was able to make it through school, because I was totally a hellraiser in those years, just totally trying to skip a few classes just to look up a lot of that and research a lot of that stuff, or like do it during where I'm supposed to do schoolwork, and I'm like goofing off and messing around. But I've done that about like 10 times, but it's worked out pretty good for me, as you can see. So it's been a cool trip and a cool journey. So I'm glad you guys were able to see that gear, because I'm honored to have it. And it's pretty awesome. So I'm definitely an old school fan, and you don't really see that nowadays in this kind of era that we're living in. But as you can tell in my bedroom, I know a lot, which is pretty awesome.